gosh.
Just trying to hide the picture.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Kachai. Kachai is a word in Acholi, which means the tea place. My name is Miriam Laker, and this is my sister.
Pamela. Is Pamela or Mel?
Up to you.
Mel.
Okay.
Okay. It will interchange.
Okay. Yeah. And we are novices. So this is the first time we're doing this. We've been planning on doing this for 3 months, like saying, let's start. Text messages, WhatsApp conversations. And
and encourage them, saying today is the day, and then
And yesterday we just decided this is going to be the day. Mel, can you just explain what does Kachai mean?
Kachai, we say Kachai, not Kachai. Kachai means a tea place, like a place where we sit and have tea and talk. I think that's what it means to me.
In reality, women in their 40s and above taking tea and having KB. So Mel and I are sisters. We're going to be having these conversations, talking about life. We are all we're all in our 40s. We've experienced life, the highs, the lows. And this is a place where we want every woman or everyone who comes to this place to feel safe. Clean conversation. We are Catholics, so it's going to be Christian conversation, clean, but we want to cover every topic possible.
As much as possible.
Yeah.
But I'm the shy one.
Please. Anyway, well, I'm going to start by asking you a question.
Yeah.
What happened those 3 months?
Excuses. 1, 2 excuses, and 3 excuses. I had an excuse for every time. It was raining. I was late home. It is Sunday. I am tired. All of it was just excuses. So I think we've just decided on this day, 7th of April, 2005, to just start. I thought I was coming for a meeting. I didn't expect to be shooting today. So I think it was a lot of excuses. So just start is very important.
I agree. And for me, on my end, just wondering about what are we going to talk about? Will it take off? Worried about things that we have no control over. And yet I'm one of these ministers who only do stuff that you have control over. And wondering about that, because sometimes we don't really have deep conversations, and sometimes worrying if it gets deep, how are we going to handle, So there's usually things that are going to keep you from starting. But like Pam said, today we just showed up. You see how we are dressed, no makeup, our real selves, real raw,
ready to chill in the evening, and then here I am in front of people.
Exactly, So Mel, what would we should we let people expect to find on our podcast, on our YouTube channel?
To expect conversations that touches their hearts, things that they can feel. Like you said, we're Catholic, we're Christian. We want to also have conversations that encourage and the Christian version of things. That doesn't mean non-Christians shouldn't come. I think they should come and see what we have to say and understand us. Expect to see us grow, because Miriam and I, it's quite rare that we talk about very deep things. So I think talking to other people, to each other, is going to help that. Mainly I'm expecting growth, because this is raw. Like if we see, I think if we look at this later, we're going to be like, what? But this is what I'm expecting: growth. I'm expecting laughter. I'm expecting lots of questions from people who start to engage later on. Things like that. So, and also to expect the unexpected.
Right, that's so true. I think when Pam says we're expecting growth, when we were thinking about a name for this channel, one of the reasons I really gravitated towards Kachai is we grew up at a time when being from the North wasn't cool. I don't know if it is now, but me, I enjoy being actually, by the way.
It was so uncool.
I know it was so uncool, and like when you would speak your language, people would say stuff like, they would laugh and they'd say stuff like, why are you abusing us? Things that are very derogatory, by the way. So for us to get this word that is a word in our language, to be a space for us to be who we are, who we enjoy being behind closed doors, I think for me that was a really, really strong part of it.
Yes, and just to have people will learn that Kachai means something, and then later on maybe it will become that tagline that everyone, when you say Kachai, you understand. And for us, I think also maybe if we look back growing up, we used to have a lot of tea time sit downs. That's when the stories were told. Evening tea. That's such a British habit. So we used to have evening tea, and we had a lot of stories. Our dad would tell us those folk tales. That's the time to be lectured about things you did during the day.
Right?
This time your homework is talked about or your report.
Yeah.
So I think it symbolizes all of that, just a time to sit down and have discussions. And maybe another thing I maybe should add, I expect visitors maybe.
Yes,
one day.
Yeah, that's true.
Visitors come and have chai with us.
True. I totally agree. And Pam has brought up something that I've forgotten about, but I realize it's so true. Our lives actually happened around evening tea.
Yeah.
Like practically all our childhood memories, now that I'm thinking about it, was around evening tea, which would extend sometimes until dinner time with plates and cups all over the place. But it was time when we really had deep family conversations and everything is rooted there. But also thinking about it, you don't have to be drunk to laugh.
Yeah.
So, or you don't have to be drunk to have deep conversations.
Yes.
So this will be a very sober place and a place where we speak like really from a very clear mind, but real and raw, like Pam said, and visitors. So if you have any topics that you'd want to join us and have a conversation with, you're very welcome to just reach out to us and we're going to be happy to let you join in our conversations.
Yeah.
Right. So this is our first episode. There's nothing, we didn't have much to do. Like we said, for us, this was starting. And in reality, if you want to do something, you need to start. If you wait for perfection, it will never happen. Yeah. Today I was talking to Tommy. Tommy is my husband. And he said, you guys, we have cameras, we have lights, we have, I don't know what. But I knew that if we waited for those things to be set up, you'd see us next year in March.
If you're lucky.
Yep.
Yeah. So and also I think also that would also bring a bit of self-consciousness and whatnot, but we start like this and see what happens.
Exactly.
Go.
Yeah.
So I think we didn't even think about a topic today. Maybe just ask each other questions. Maybe that's a way to go for this beginning to understand like who am I and who are you, and then we can jump in from there. So maybe the audience can understand a bit of our background. And it will not be entirely the whole thing.
Yeah.
But with time, they'll keep learning. Just in the beginning, who is Miriam?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thanks, Mel. I didn't expect that question, but who am I? Many people know me as Dr. Miriam. I am a medical doctor. And yeah, because I trained in medicine, I'm a medical doctor, not practicing currently. I'm a mom of 3 children and 1 bonus daughter. So essentially a mom of 4 children, 2 girls and 2 boys, very much energy. Pam has been a savior for that. She is the place where I throw them. I tell her, take your relatives. So that is Pam. That's me. And then also I'm a teacher of catechism. I teach children catechism because I find that my life is what it is because of the relationship that I have with God. And it's a relationship that is always changing. And so I really feel that children should get to know the Lord early and to understand the reason behind our faith. So that's why I teach catechism. I've been married 17 years now. We shall talk about that one day, lots of ups and downs, but on the whole, it is beautiful. And Pam is my middle sister. We are 3 girls in our family and 3 boys. Pam.
So we're 6 people. I'm a middle child and I have a lot of middle child characteristics, I think. I do that independence that comes with it. So my name is Pamela Melanie Ayot. I rarely use Melanie. My friends call me Mel.
The kids call you Mela.
And the kids call me Mela, Auntie Mela, and some are dry. They call me Mela.
The first time I heard, I was like, wait, what?
And that's especially that girl, Avi. So I'm an auntie of 8, like immediate ones. There are 8 kids. All this is almost 17.
Almost 17 next month.
Almost 17. And it is a beautiful thing. It's just, when they come, you take your relatives, when they come annoying, send them back. Wonderful. I am right now I'm in human resources, and that is really not my personality. It's just my job. It's a job I love. The best part is seeing people grow. When someone comes in as, I guess, I don't know, a biller, I'm saying biller because that's my work. It's they come in entry job and then you see them grow. That's the best part of my job. My colleagues are also a good part of it. What else am I? I am over 40 now. I love it.
I know.
I don't know. Someone said when you turn 40, you're going to stop hearing, it is true.
It's so true. You're like, whatever.
Your BS meter is full. There's no room.
Like, I'm not taking any more, and I'm actually cutting down on the ones that I have.
There's really no room.
That's so true.
Things happen like, is that a hill I want to die on? No, and we move on. And I love it. I studied business admin. I did masters. I'll never go back to school after that. I learned that very hard lesson. It was hard. Some people say it's easy,
remember
but
those phone calls?
Hard. Especially the research part. No, I won't do that again. I like to travel. I like to do, people might say risky things. They're not risky. But I think what I like to do is I'll try anything once. I'll try it once, and if I like it, great. If I don't like it, I'll not do it again. Like I tried cabbage, I hate it. Now I don't eat cabbage. So it's one of those things. I just want to try things once, see how it works. And I am a friend to many and a sibling to 5 people. Yeah, including this one, my older sister.
You know what is interesting, when Mela was talking, I noticed that Pam is an extrovert and I'm also an extrovert. But I realized how different extroverts can be. Like Pam says she likes traveling, and Pamela goes camping. You guys, don't think of sleeping out in the bush. Me, I tell people the only reason I'll sleep out in the bush is if I've been thrown out of my home. Like, what is that? You go sleep in the bush? So
for fun.
Then we realize how different it can be. So yeah, we are just love that. Yeah.
Siblings, but with very different likes. She's science. I am extremely not. 100% not. I like the stage in terms of I want to dance and act. She does the stage in terms of making presentations. That's not.
So so interesting. Both extroverts, but very
different.
Yeah, very different.
So generally, that's me. That now that me I can think of right now. But I'm sure there's more to us.
That's true.
As we speak, as we grow in this kachai, we'll learn more about each other.
That's true. It's interesting when we were talking about personalities. I think one of the things I learned that shocked me in parenting is how different children are. Like, we had a firstborn, we had got things that he were like, punishments look like this, rewards look like this. We're like ready for the second one. And then we get the second one. I remember for Jason, we had decided we can't do timeouts for him because he enjoyed the timeouts.
He likes being quiet.
Yes, I remember him one time asking, can you extend my timeout? We're like, what is that? So the girl Aviela comes along, and she is so afraid of timeout because she's such an extrovert. So just learning that the children are so different, it just makes you realize that the way God
you come from the same two people, but
brought up by the same two people, and each one of you is just as different as each other's
exactly. And they're completely so different from your parents.
Absolutely.
Different. Yeah.
Remember one time Daddy said that he feels sorry for God. And I asked him why. He said, every child who is being born, he needs to sort out the genetics from Adam and Eve to date to get child out. So it's interesting how different we all are. Maybe as we come to an end of our fast, because this was really just to start, we are going to even figure out how long these things should be. But today we just needed to start. We are going to get a rhythm, get to a point where we have a rhythm, and we shall be uploading the videos as they come out. I think I'm going to ask Mel, what so far is the highlight of your year? We are the 4th month.
Oh, it's the 4th month. Wow. That's a difficult one. I think maybe we're Lent season right now, and I have managed to stick to certain decisions that I made to start during Lent. And up to now, I have stuck. Maybe I'll mention one. It's just that I feel like if I say it, everyone's going to have to hold me accountable. I don't want. I'll stop drinking Coca-Cola.
That's a relative.
My goodness, I drink Coca-Cola so much, and the day before Lent, I drank. I think it's like those small ones, minis. And I was like, God, let's see how it goes. And I just don't want it.
Amen.
Just that. And I hope it will last.
Amen.
It needs to last because my goodness.
I know.
So I'm out. There's that and other things that I've been doing this season. And I hope that they will last. So Yeah, I'm looking forward to maybe in the future when I'm no longer look at it as if I said, but I won't hold me accountable.
A year from now, we're coming back,
Yeah,
yeah, that's nice. Yeah. I think for me, the highlight of my year has been my job situation.
Yes.
I've had a very, very difficult time at work. And for me, being the kind of person for whom some have been a kind of person for whom things work out. You know, you work hard, you bring your best self to the table and things work out. But I had a very complicated job situation. I know later on we will talk about it in more detail. But I think for me, that was a highlight because seeing God be constant in the middle of that, you know, there are days when things would happen and I would be like, I'm going to go and blast them at work. I'm going to tell them this. And I would go before the Blessed Sacrament every Thursday and God would tell me, you're not going to do that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why me? Like, why not you? So that has been, it was a challenge, but it was great to have family. Pamela was very helpful. My husband was very helpful. Like people who would listen without judgment and give their opinion. The kids were also very helpful. We talked about it as a family because it also meant to affect our finances. But for me, that has been the highlight of the year. But I think the better bit is the healing from it. Like the last 1 month being in a place where you're like, that is now in the past.
Yeah.
I don't know what the future is, but for now, I am at peace. Asking, would I go back to the thing that I was fighting for? Absolutely not. I don't want it now, which is really weird, right?
Yeah.
We fight for things.
And when you get it, you're like, really?
Exactly, yeah. And I thank God that letting go of the thing that I wanted at the time, and now looking back and realizing, God, I thank you.
That's so true. Because you could have blasted people and then you'd have all these things that you have to sort out.
Exactly, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
So for me, that has been my highlight. I don't know what the future holds at the moment, but I'm in a good place. Mentally. Yeah,
that's a good one. Because like at work, sometimes you tell people that sometimes someone will do something to you and your reaction is now the reason we're sitting in a disciplinary meeting, a grievance meeting, in a family meeting because of your reaction towards them. Because if you explain to someone what they did, they're like, maybe you could have. And you're like, by the way, that's right.
That's true.
So that there's that thing that we are supposed to find and reframe about the way you react towards people's behavior. It's such a huge thing because you end up in places you're like, this could have ended there. Ignore it or speak about it directly to the person or things like that. So that's a good one.
Yeah, and you know, it reminds me of something from the 7 habits of effective people. There is that thing that says that what makes human beings different from like animals is our ability to create space between a stimulus and the reaction. Like someone says something to you, as a human being, you're able to take a step back before reacting. And many times, unfortunately, we don't. Right? Like you're like, what you said, what you
I told them.
Exactly. I told them off. And then when things turn around, you'll be the one with the goat.
Exactly.
You know? So, exactly. They'll be like, okay, did it really warrant that kind of response? So just learning that gap. I remember a friend of mine called Rose Kipper one time was giving us a talk on parenting. And she said for her, what she learned was in that space, when a child has annoyed you, say, come Holy Spirit before you react.
Because you need the Holy Spirit.
Exactly. And I find that I'm taking it even in non-parenting, even like in the workplace, because there are times I sat in a meeting or an email would come, right? You're like, I'm going to reply, but you're like, no, at first.
Yeah, because human beings will try you.
Absolutely.
Like, people will.
I know it's weird. Sometimes, like for emails, if you give yourself that gap and come back, you'll read the message
in a different tone.
Yes, like, you realize that you gave that person her tone. They're like, this is what you were saying when you say those things. But you come back and read, you're like, wait a minute.
And you can't tell ChatGPT answer like I'm angry.
Exactly. So learning to create that space, you know, and then looking back. And normally when you create that space, your response will always be the right one. And sometimes creating space may mean days. I remember like in this work situation, I thank God because the time they sent me a document and I was so ready to respond, I was like, you know what? Give me 5 days. I wrote back to them, I said, give me 5 days. And those 5 days were so important. Because it allowed me to go through the cycle of anger, denial, you know, grieving, like the whole
even thing. Allows the other person, if they're doing something random, think about the like.
Absolutely. Because you're really right. Because after the 5 days, I was in a good headspace to address the situation and found, because I imagine the other person was expecting confrontation.
Yeah.
Like a fighting confrontation, and I just showed up like very chill, started a conversation talking about stuff I'd been doing, the kids and everything. It also puts them in a space of, okay, it's not going to be a fight after all.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that space
They put their gloves down.
yeah,
That's
that
true.
space is really,
Yeah,
really important.
that's good.
Yeah.
It's a good thing though.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. How often do you think we should be doing this? Once every
Once
week?
a month. A week.
A month is problematic. Once a week.
Lord.
I think yeah, see how things start with me. So Jason says Labastatan. Going to wait in 3 months. I really think for starters, so we can get a rhythm.
Okay.
Let's do once a week. We can pick maybe a Friday or whatever day, but like sit down same time and we record something. Might be 30 minutes, but then over time we like just hone it in and get better. Yeah, we'll look back one day and laugh.
Now it's written in the history.
Exactly.
Oh,
yeah.
God. Every week.
Okay. And I'm gonna make sure that this week we'll put it out on YouTube. There's no otherwise. The time I recorded something like 2 years ago. They even edited the video. It is sitting in the computer somewhere. So, so I need to get it out. Okay. Okay. Wonderful. Final words.
Welcome to Kachai, a place where we have our tea and conversations and be adults in this life.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for listening to our issues, for laughing along with us. Would love to hear back from you. Subscribe to join our channel. Write to us. Tell us what you'd like to hear about. But be nice. No mean comments, right? Let's treat each other well. I know, right?
What's mean?
Exactly. Yeah, actually, but anyway, so thank you, everyone. Be blessed. Bye.
Bye.
That was nice. I'll stop the recording.